And a very good afternoon to you. The Gold Coast Croatian Centre is the venue today for this FFA Cup Round 7 qualifier between the Gold Coast Knights and the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Simon Hill in match commentary today for you. And of course the prize for one of these two, a coveted spot in the round of 32 alongside the professional boys, the A-League clubs. Gold Coast Knights have of course been there before in 2018, where they drew the Newcastle Jets in the round of 32 and lost 1-0 at Seabus Stadium. But for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, this would be a new departure, a first for their 4-year-old club, and follow on from the big cup shock that we saw in Queensland yesterday with Edge Hill United from Cairns winning through against the Magpies Crusaders by 3-1 and booking their spot in the last 32. The first community club north of Brisbane to reach that phase of the competition. The other games yesterday, Brisbane City losing out to the Lions 2-1 at home, and Peninsula Power, who are of course going so well at the top of the NPL Queensland in the domestic competition, edging out Olympic, last year's grand finalists, by 2-1. So who will join them here today on the Gold Coast? The last qualifier for the state. The Gold Coast Knights, probably you'd say, are the favourites. Of course, the two played in the league in the NPL Queensland last week. The Knights coming out 4-2 winners. So with that in mind and home advantage, they will probably be the favourite of the two teams. But as we all know, the FFA Cup is a little bit different. So let's see what transpires. Hopefully it's a good game for you live on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel. And here come the two teams. Sunshine Coast Wanderers in yellow jerseys, and of course the Gold Coast Knights in predominantly all white. In terms of the team news, the Knights making just the one change from the team that beat the Wanderers 4-2 last week. Jason McQuarrie returns in attack in place of Dante Mariner, who drops down to the bench. McQuarrie is the Knights' top goal scorer in the NPL with 6. Kai Tapaldo scored the first goal of the game last week. The former Brisbane Roar youth player has 5 for the season. And Junior Yabe and Roman Hoffman continuing their partnership in the heart of the Knights' defence, even though, of course, they're both midfielders by trade. The Sunshine Coast Wanderers making 4 changes from that loss to the Knights last week, including in goal, where Sam Nichols is cup-tied after playing in the competition in the earlier rounds. So 20-year-old Ben Campbell deputises. Riley Campbell returns after missing out last week due to a holiday, as does Andrei Yanchevsky, who of course is the brother of the captain Chris, and experienced striker Ethan Galbraith. Partners Daniel Cutler up front. The 29-year-old Aucklander is a New Zealand under-20 international, and at 6'5" tall, he'll provide plenty of height for the Wanderers. There is no reserve goalkeeper on the bench for the Wanderers today after Lucas Turpu broke his thumb, so I'm told an outfield player will take his place in goal if required. The two skippers, Roman Hoffman and Chris Yanchevsky. Our referee today is Max Crane, who was here just a few weeks ago for the top of the table clash between the Knights and the Peninsula Power, won 4-1 by the Power. He's also officiated games at national level in the Y League, and has also been a 4th official in the W League. So the Knights break from their huddle, led of course by Adam Porridge, formerly a player at a very good level with Sheffield Wednesday in England, Southend United, Rotherham United and Notts County, and his team are yet to concede a goal in this year's cup run, scoring 12 without reply. The Wanderers led by Paul Arneson, who also played professionally in England for Newcastle United, for Hartlepool, Carlisle, for Bradford City and for Darlington before emigrating to Australia a few years ago and finishing off his playing days in Queensland. Talking of which, it's been a bright sunny day in the Sunshine State. But cooler temperatures, of course, because we're in winter and heading towards the evening. But this should be a cracking cup tie and a place in the round of 32 awaiting the winners. So it is the Sunshine Coast Wanderers who get us underway, kicking from right to left in this first half. The early clearance by Roman Hoffman, the Gold Coast Knights captain, and steadied down by Curtis Stollery. Mitch Nichols driving it forward towards Max Brown. It's quickly won back by the Wanderers. Mitch Bridge turning it back to Brodie Boyce. Still got the music going on the PA in the background. I'm not sure where the game has started. But started it most certainly has. As for the Wanderers, that loss to the Gold Coast in the NPL Queensland last week did end a 5-game winning streak. So pretty decent nick in terms of the league campaign. They lie in 6th at the moment. Gold Coast Knights 3 places ahead of them, but it's a pretty even contest on paper. Jason McQuarrie happy to accept the gift of the throw, which former Raw youth player Matt Schmidt will take. Up in the air by Schmidt. Challenging for it was Kai Tapaldo, and actually wins out in the end, ahead of Mitch Bridge. And McQuarrie trying to make progress down the left. The verdict goes the Wanderers' way, which their bench likes. Such a big prize on offer for the winners. Potentially a big payday, of course, against an A-League club, should the draw go that way. Sent forward by Chris Janczewski with that very cultured left boot, and put behind for a corner by Schmidt, first of the game. And it's gone to the Wanderers. Chance to send the likes of Liam Fitzsimmons forward. Brodie Boyce has taken his place around the penalty spot. Riley Campbell just lurking in the D. It's going to be Liam Fitzsimmons to deliver with the left boot and swing it towards the near post. Perhaps needed a little bit more elevation. Jason McQuarrie the first to react and sends it forward in the hope of a runner from one of his teammates. Here's the first test for Ben Campbell. Too far in front of Ethan Galbraith. Big, tall New Zealander restored to the team today. Jaden Walker back to his goalkeeper, Josh Langdon. It must be said, made some terrific saves in that 4-2 win over the Wanderers for the Knights. Here's his opposite number, Ben Campbell. Send it forward with plenty of air. Helped on towards Galbraith. Daniel Cutler couldn't reach it. Here's the captain, Chris Janczewski. Harry Arneson, the son of Coach Paul. And now Ben Wan. Throw for the Wanderers, but not quite where they wanted to take it. Form on the road this season in the NPL Queensland has not been too flash, the Wanderers. Just a couple of wins at the Lions and Redlands. They will feel that they've got a pretty good chance of springing a minor surprise here today. Club that is the senior program of the Budrum Wanderers, formed all the way back in 1972. Mitch Nichols getting a toe in. This is Curtis Stollery, who was one of those on target in that 4-2 win last week. Throw to be taken by Jaden Walker, another former Brisbane Roar Youth League player. His teammate Nick Panetta has lost out in midfield, and this is a driving run forward by Galbraith, linking up with Cutler. It's going to get away from Andrei Janchevsky, and behind for a goal kick for the Gold Coast Knights. Champions of Queensland, the Knights, in 2019. Their first ever senior trophy. They defeated Olympic 2-1 in the grand final. Of course, as mentioned already, 12 months before that, they did reach the round of 32 in the FFA Cup, where they performed pretty admirably before bowing out by the only goal to the Newcastle Jets at Seabus Stadium. Looking for another big occasion. It's a lovely turn that by Matt Schmidt. Mitch Nichols, 5 times capped Socceroo. This is a useful build-up by the Knights, and Mitch Nichols going to get there and drive it in towards that near post. And a safe pair of hands shown by Ben Campbell. It was a long bursting run, wasn't it, from Mitch Nichols, fully 50 metres. Very eclectic playing career Mitch Nichols has had at the professional level. Quite a handful of A-League clubs, including the Western Sydney Wanderers and Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory, Perth Glory. A year overseas in Japan as well with Cerezo Osaka. I think it is Nichols receiving a bit of attention. We'll confirm that in a moment or two. Nice panoramic view of the Gold Coast Croatian Centre as the Wanderers take the chance of the early breather to get some fluid on board. Adam Porridge in the background. He's making a point to Curtis Stollery. There's his opposite number, Paul Arneson, making a point to the bench. These two teams have only met 4 times previously in the NPL competition. The Knights winning 3 of those. Just the 1 win for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, although they did meet in the FFA Cup, the 5th round of qualifying in 2019, and the Knights won that one too by 3-1. Crossfield ball by Chris Janchevsky. Galbraith has lost out. Tied it up by Jason McQuarrie. And a throw for the Wanderers. Busy opening period, the long throw. To no avail, and there was surely a tug on the jersey there of Nick Panetta, but a good advantage played by Max Crane because he saw that the situation was potentially opening up for the Knights. This is McQuarrie. There's 2 players in attendance, Harry Arneson and Liam Fitzsimmons, and he's got past both of them to fire the cross in. It's towards Curtis Stollery, but the Wanderers deal with that one. Brought down here by Max Brown. Scorer of 13 goals from midfield last season, Max Brown, physiotherapist by trade. Played upfield by Josh Langdon, very much the first choice number 1 for the Gold Coast Knights, and Slung out towards Curtis Stollery on the right. This looks promising for the Knights. It's Stollery! Well, how about that for a finish from Curtis Stollery on the left peg, top corner. And the young goalkeeper, Ben Campbell, absolutely no chance. He scored last week in the 4-2 win. That was the second goal in that game. He's got the opener here tonight. And it came bang on the 10-minute mark. And it was a beautiful finish. It's his 6th of the season, all told. And I don't think he'll score too many better than that. Former Gold Coast United and Gold Coast City, Logan Lightning, attacking midfielder. And that was a peach. So the Wanderers up against it already, and it was all courtesy really of that beautiful crossfield ball that found Curtis Stollery. Still had an awful lot to do, but didn't he do it well? Wanderers looking to hit back straight away. It's not an accurate ball in towards Ethan Galbraith. Capaldo trying to dig the ball out on that far side, but he's not been able to do so. And here come the Wanderers, and it's a chance for Brodie Boyce to fire one in. And he wasn't too far off, was he? The defender venturing forwards. Good response from Paul Arneson's team. Brodie Boyce, one of those young players, is still just 19, who Paul Arneson believes has the ability to go all the way into the professional ranks. He weaved his way through quite nicely there, the ranks of the Gold Coast Knights defence. Slightly awry with the finish. This is Jaden Walker. Schmidt. No options up ahead, so back to Junya Yabe, the Japanese imports who played in the top university league back at his homeland before arriving in Australia in 2018. Well dug out by Andrei Janchevsky, and there's a chance here for Cutler. That's a good save by Josh Langan. Made himself big. Stuck out the right boots to deny the South African-born Daniel Cutler. Now, this has been a really good response by the Wanderers to falling behind. They're trying to apply the high press here. Nick Panetta showing admirable coolness. Now the Knights steal it in midfield. Nichols taking control and flicking with the outside of the bit. Beautiful stuff. Out towards Stollery, scorer of the game's only goal. The cutback was behind Kai Tapeldo. Very lively opening quarter of an hour at the Gold Coast Croatian Centre. Curtis Stollery with the only goal. This is Nichols. Panetta. Jockeying for position, beautifully done. Walker's cut back, and it's Stollery again. And credit to Mitch Bridge, who just threw his body in the way and made the block. And now the Wanderers trying to spring forward at the other end. Roman Hoffman tidying up. And out it goes off Matthew Schmidt. Well, we thought this might be a lively contest. Certainly proved to be so in the early stages. This is Nick Panetta. Always has a flick and a trick. Cairns-born winger, 23 years of age, works in telecommunications during the week. Nick Panetta. Here's the Colombian Makwasi, jabbed forward by Nichols, and Makwasi was quick to react and get to the return. It's clever stuff by the Colombian Makwasi. Goodness me. Well, he didn't need a second invitation, did he? And that's actually a very good save in the end by Ben Campbell. Who scored a bucket load of goals in the state competition, not just for the Knights, but for Brisbane Strikers, Redlands United, and Hume City, and the Lions. Here's the corner, his shot earned towards that near post on the volley by Panetta, but no real control over his effort. And the Wanderers survive. New to this level of competition, of course, the Sunshine Coast Wanderers finished 9th in NPL 2020, their first season in the top tier. Budding rivalry with the Sunshine Coast Fire, who have dropped out of the top division for the time being. This is Ben Wan. Launching it up towards Galbraith, but no real control. Josh Langdon to go long. Came off the head of Liam Fitzsimmons, the Scouser at the heart of that back four for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, big Liverpool fan. Scored a cracking goal a week or two back against the Logan Lightning. Did Liam Fitzsimmons, driven forward. There's a chance here. Nobody has picked up high to Peldo, and Ben Campbell to the rescue again for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. The defence parted like the Red Sea there. And Tapaldo left all alone, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Something that Paul Arneson will have to sort out. Front forward again. Tapaldo's not going to get on the end of that one. It's two decent stops though by the young goalkeeper, deputising for Sam Nichols. Launch forward by Matthew Schmitz, met by Fitzsimmons. Driven out towards Makwasi. Lovely control by the Colombian, and he's past the fullback with ease. Still going, Jason Makwasi. He'll get a corner. Such an exciting player, the Colombian. Actually played for the Colombian youth team. Played against players such as Philip Coutinho and Neymar. 9 years with Academica FC in Bogota in the Colombian second division, which gives you a hint as to his quality. And his work has produced this latest corner for the Knights. Let's see if they can profit from it. In towards the near post. Away by Brodie Boyce. Jaden Walker to return it towards the left-hand side of the field. Walker again, Nichols. Open space up ahead of him, guides it towards that back post, but Max Brown was offside. Gold Coast Knights reaching this stage, as mentioned, without conceding a goal. They saw off Taringa 2-0 in round 4. Eastern Suburbs 5-0 in round 5, and then the Holland Park Hawks 5-0 in round 6. 12 unanswered goals, and you can make that 13 after Curtis Stollery's opener here today. Nichols prompting and probing, sending a gorgeous ball out towards Makwasi on the left. And the Wanderers struggling to keep up at the moment. That ball needed to be cleared. Ben Wen did his duty. "20 minutes played on the glitter strip, and it's Gold Coast Knights leading Sunshine Coast Wanderers by 1-0. Curtis Stollery with a cracking finish on 10 minutes. Nichols trying to repeat the trick and tee up Makwasi. Not quite as accurate this time. Tied it up by Riley Campbell. Now with Andrei Yanchevsky. Trying to set Cutler away, but he was well shackled by Junior Yabe. Yabe and Hoffman, of course, continuing that central defensive partnership, because the Gold Coast Knights have lost an awful lot of central defenders over the last 12 months. Oscar Dillon, Ross Archibald, Emlyn Wellsmore, Aaron Reardon. They have all departed the club, so two central midfielders filling the roles at the moment. As Brody Boyce is forced to check back. Fitzsimmons. Ben Wen. Galbraith. Chris Yanchevsky. Captain just gains a metre or two to find the angle for that cross. It's an over for the Wanderers, but Gold Coast Knights not able to clear their lines, and they'll fire it back out towards Chris Yanchevsky. Now with his brother Andre, and the referee's got in the road. On we go. This is Harry Arneson. Fitzsimmons. They're finding little pockets of room between the lines, Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Driven into the penalty area by Harry Arneson. Headed away by Nichols, and there was just a little nudge on Mitch Nichols. And that's why there's a free kick for the Knights. Up into the early evening sky by Josh Langdon. There might have been a foul there by Curtis Stollery. The Wanderers certainly thought so as we passed the midway point of the first half. Jaden Walker, dependable right fullback, who's starting to become a primary school teacher. First time called by Nichols. A pirouette by Jaden Walker, and fired again towards Jason Makwasi. Nichols couldn't quite get over the top of that, could he? All the way back to Langdon. Towards halfway by Boyce. Other action around the country, of course. Brisbane City have just got an equaliser in that game, as you saw in the bottom right corner. Against the Western Suburbs. And we've got stoppage for a problem with Harry Arneson at the moment. I think Ethan Galbraith is just making the point. Some moments ago there was, in their opinion, an infringement against their player inside the centre circle. Max Crane didn't blow. Sizable unit, isn't he, Ethan Galbraith? Auckland born, formerly with Waitakere United and Team Wellington. He's had a stint in the New South Wales NPL competition with both the Sutherland Sharks and Apia Leichhardt.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the Gold Coast Knights kick off round 14, which is the second part of the NPL Football Queensland season, against Queensland Lions here at the Croatian Sports Centre on Saturday.
So Harry Arneson taking his time before taking his feet. Goal for Kapalaba.
For round 14 of the Football Queensland NPL against the Queensland Lions at 6:30 p.m. The other two qualifiers for the FFA Cup out of Queensland, Peninsula Power 2 against Olympic last night 2-1. So Peninsula Power...
For a lengthy delay, we're ready to resume. Harry Arneson just off the pitch for the moment. That'll affect the Wanderers. They've made decent progress towards the Knights' penalty area. Chris Janczewski needs a bit of help. Gets it now from Ben Wan. Off the head of Nichols. Brought down by Riley Campbell. Harry Arneson back with us. It was him trying to fire the cross in. Boyce. Arneson. And Wan decides to put his foot through it. Matthew Schmidt underneath it. Nichols first to react to the loose ball and finding Makwasi. He spins and looks for an option. Gold Coast Knights just pinned back in their own half of the pitch at the moment. This will relieve that momentary spell of pressure. Not quite what the Knights wanted there. Curtis Stollery is the man of the moment so far as Adam Porrich's team is concerned. His goal still dividing the teams. Beautiful left foot finish on 10 minutes. Flip forward by the Wanderers. And here's a potential chance for them. Taken down on the chest of Ethan Galbraith, but actually bounced a little bit heavy off the body. And now the whistle's gone for a foul. And his teammate Daniel Cutler. Josh Langdon has just stolen a few metres there, I think. They all count. Headed purposefully forward by Chris Janczewski. Oh. No quarter ass non-given in this cup tie. Good win by Cutler. Janczewski bombing forward down the left. Arneson's touch in field. The Knights maintaining their shape. Here's Wan. Again, they look for the tall figure of Galbraith, and they would like a foul there. Junior Yava got nothing doing. That's a lovely turn by Max Brown. Just to open up the field for the Knights. Schmidt. Walker. Nichols. Andrei Janczewski in hot pursuit. Down the line by Walker. And that's surely fouling his opponent there. That is indeed the verdict. And Harry Arneson in a bit of a clinch there. The approach the half-hour mark. Another goal for Kapalaba. They are now well clear of the Wanderers in that MPL game. Another stoppage in play. This time it's Mitch Nichols who has dropped down to the turf. Nichols will need to wander off on that far touchline. Last touch off Riley Campbell. A 23-year-old former Moreton Bay United player who is one of the few in this Wanderers team who've actually played in the FFA Cup proper. Got to the round of 16 with Moreton Bay. Ben Campbell's got to come out and get this one, and he wasn't too sure, was he? And he needed Ben Wan to help him out. That could have been a calamity for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Here's Nick Panetta, another dig from long range. Oh, and the deflection has gone into the back of the net, and Ben Campbell is oh so unfortunate. It is 2 for the Gold Coast Knights. It was Panetta's shot that took a heavy deflection. I think it's Kai Tapaldo who got the final touch. And Ben Campbell left completely wrong-footed. You have to say that the Knights have looked dangerous every time they've gone forward. And just a moment or so prior to that, of course, Ben Campbell got in a bit of a tangle with his own defender. And from the subsequent phase in play, Nick Panetta's shot was deflected in off Kai Tapaldo. It's a long way back now for the Wanderers, and Gold Coast Knights in the mood for more. Brody Boy's desperately trying to keep his feet. Jason McCrossy is a slippery customer. He's not going to get the corner. So, 6th goal of the campaign for Kai Tapaldo as well. Another one who was formerly with Brisbane Roar in the A-League ranks with their youth team, also with the Newcastle Jets, strangely enough. He was pretty prolific for the Roar MPL team back in 2020, 14 goals in 23 games, and he's got his name on the score sheet again here today. In fact, it's the same 2 goal scorers from a league game last week that have done the business for the Knights, Kai Tapaldo and Curtis Stollery, other way around this week. Stollery hits the deck, Jaden Walker takes over for the Knights. Jabbed back by Stollery, infield by Panetta. Nichols, who's back with us following his treatment for that little knock. Schmidt to launch it, and Ben Campbell to claim this time. Tough assignment for the young goalkeeper. Well, he has played 6 times in the NPL this season, Ben Campbell. One of a handful of players that have joined the Wanderers from the local club on the Sunshine Coast, the Noosa Lions. Capaldo's gone down injured. Nick Panetta doesn't care. Scoots past him, might have a go here. Oh, and it's just glanced, I think, off that left-hand upright. The replay might tell us more, but I think Ben Campbell is mighty relieved to see that one behind for a goal kick. Doesn't mind a shot from long range, Nick Panetta. As it stands, it will be the Gold Coast Knights taking their place again in the FFA Cup round of 32 draw when it's happens in a few weeks' time. Always an exciting time in the football calendar. Makes our game unique. Have member federation clubs coming up against the professional outfits in the A-League. Jason McCarthy wanted the ball played in front of him rather than behind. Brodie Boyce said, "I'll have that." Square for Chris Janczewski. Drives it across field. Matthew Schmidt doing his job against Riley Campbell. Rather loose throw. Ethan Galbraith able to steal in. This is Andre Janczewski. Brodie Boyce. Through Liam Fitzsimmons. And Campbell to put his boot through it. Liam Fitzsimmons just caught by his opponent, Kai Capaldo. And Campbell to launch it. Galbraith, it's a good ball. Picked up in the deep by Harry Arneson. Dug out by Andre Janczewski, and this is Galbraith, or rather Cutler, trying to muscle his way through. Riley Campbell in a good position, just waiting for the pass really, but it never came. If they could just pinch one before the break, would make things interesting. We're going to have another Liam Fitzsimmons long throw here. See if it pays off. Junior Yabe with the partial clearance, and the shot when it came in, easily fielded by Josh Langdon. Another aimless ball from the left fullback. McQuarrie. Yabe back to his goalkeeper. Good jump by Bailey Wen. Good feet too by Andre Janczewski. Here's his brother Chris. Arneson bundled over. Still just 19 years of age, Harry Arneson. Had a spell with Brisbane Roar in the Y League, won that particular competition in season 18-19. He's dropped back into the semi-pro ranks to try and build his career. Spoke to Paul, his father, the coach, during the week. He says he's a better player than me. There's the free kick from Liam Fitzsimmons. Galbraith, of course, underneath it at 6'5". And Andre Janchevsky might just burrow his way through here. Can he fashion an opportunity? Not quite. He's taken off his toe in the end by Mitch Nichols. That's a clever ball by Nick Panetta. Nichols to try and drive it across towards that right-hand side where Stollery was waiting. It's beyond Chris Janchevsky, and the Gold Coast Knights are back on the attack. Square by Panetta. Max Brown for Matthew Schmidt. Hoffman. Not quite for Mitch Nichols. Well shielded by Andre Janchevsky. Another chance for Riley Campbell to make progress down the right. Faced by Schmidt. Turns back for his teammate. And the turn is Daniel Cutler. Again, just could not quite find the angle. The mass ranks of the Knights' defence doing their job. That's calmly done by Junior Yarbek. Edging towards half-time. Very satisfactory opening stanza for the Gold Coast Knights. Adam Porridge will be delighted. They've taken a couple of those chances, kept things tight at the other end. Here's Nichols, perhaps to seal it before half-time. Gets the cross in two, and Campbell had to stick out a leg and deflected away from goal. The Wanderers were in trouble once again. They get a bit of respite now for the foul on Andre Janchevsky. But they have looked, you have to say, open for business defensively. Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Good lead by Yarbek. Makwasi, good use of the body. Turned back by Fitzsimmons. And Campbell just taking a breather, assessing the options. Launched up towards Galbraith. Cutler will ferry it out towards Riley Campbell. And he'll get the throw off Matthew Schmidt. Here comes Liam Fitzsimmons again with the Rory Delap type throw. It's not been too successful so far. Last 90 seconds of the first half towards Galbraith. They'll pick up the scraps here though, the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Daniel Cutler forced to go the roundabout route, looking for the corner. He's not even going to get that. Nor even a throw. Max Crane not allowing Jaden Walker to steal those extra metres that he wanted. Launched into the air by Fitzsimmons. It bounced heavy off Galbraith. And the Knights are back in control. Oof. You can't blame Brodie Boyce for that. Just stood his ground. And his opponent went bowling over the top of him. Turned back by Max Brown. Into stoppage time at the end of the first half as of now. There will be a couple of minutes to be added on, of course. A couple of stoppages for injuries. Launched up towards Tipaldo, and if he can help it on here, Kwasi is in space, but he's been impeded by Boyce. Maybe even a slight clash of heads there between the two. Tipaldo still feeling the after effects of that clash with Boyce. Meantime, Mitch Nichols is eager to get on with it. Jason McQuarrie fires it in. Oh, and it's been spilled by the goalkeeper. And Curtis Stollery has a second. And the young keeper will not look back at that with any fondness at all. It's a brace for Stollery. And in first half stoppage time, the Gold Coast Knights have perhaps sealed their spot in the FFA Cup round of 32. Well, it was just a little bit too hot to handle for Ben Campbell, deputising for Sam Nichols between the sticks this evening. And Curtis Stollery did not need a second invitation. And that is a hammer blow for Paul Arneson's side. Right on the cusp of the break. That changes Paul Arneson's team talk completely. You can't say it's not been deserved. The Knights have looked ever so dangerous every time they've gone forward, and reshaped defence has not been able to deal with it. This is Andrei Janchevsky. Could the Wanderers get on the board before half-time and make it an interesting second 45? Into the box by Arneson. And a chance for Chris Janchevsky. He's going to get a corner off Jaden Walker. And they do have plenty of height with the likes of Galbraith and Liam Fitzsimmons, Daniel Cutler. All about the delivery towards the near post, and easily fended away by the Knights' defence. Turned back by Arneson. Fitzsimmons still putting forward in this attack for the Wanderers. They can find the right delivery. Fitzsimmons again, trying to bend it towards that back post, but he's marked it behind the byline. As we tick over into the 4th minute of stoppage time. We'll make that 15 unanswered goals now in this FFA Cup run for the Gold Coast Knights. And the way things are panning out, you can't really see them conceding here this evening either. Launched forward by Bailey Wan. Flick on by Galbraith, but quite on the same wavelength as Daniel Cutler. Two have looked a little bit disjointed in attack for the Wanderers. And that is half-time at the Gold Coast Croatian Centre. A very satisfactory first 45 for Adam Porridge's team. A couple of goals from Curtis Stollery. Second one, the crushing blow in first half stoppage time after an error from young goalkeeper Ben Campbell. In between, Kai Tipaldo with a deflection off Nick Panetta's shot. And the Gold Coast Knights are looking good for a place in the round of 32. They lead the Wanderers at the break by 3 goals to 0. And we'll be back in around 15 minutes for the second half.
the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023, which will be Australia.
Oh, amazing touch. Spectacular.
Time the cross. A towering header.
The keeper's out. The net's open.
Some people can't hide their passion. Don't hide yours. Join our team.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Happiness is knowing you'll find the perfect vehicle every time. Thrifty. Smiles all the way.
I'm Paul Wade, I'm a former Socceroo captain. I enjoyed myself at the QUT Stadium on a beautiful sunny day, and 16 teams from all over Australia enjoying football, walking, having a great time. This is a benchmark that we hope the rest of the country take on. They've got a competition, they've got training sessions, they've coached referees to make sure that all the rules are adhered to. And I'm sure some of these players have not read the rule book, but it doesn't matter. They've all got a big smile on their face. That's the main thing. Some of these stories I've heard out here, some people haven't played, haven't met each other. They've come in, they train on a Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning. They play on the weekend. Like a couple of weeks ago, they didn't even know each other's name, and now they know whose family they're from and what weddings coming up. What a great way to socialise. And in this day and age, with all the mental health problems we have and the loneliness, the perfect avenue to get people back involved in the community.
The most I enjoy is about actually bringing a group of referees and a group of players together. It's being part of that, you know, that whole group of people coming together to enjoy a sport they love. And it doesn't matter whether they're injured or they feel that they're frail or whatever, they can get out there and enjoy themselves, and that's the great thing about walking football.
When my children were growing up through grassroots soccer, I helped with refereeing, and so that was a good introduction to it. And then I wanted to get fit myself, so walk football seemed to be a good option, and then I entered into refereeing. There's certainly some more rules to, from grassroots, you learn different rules, and then coming into walking football, there's different rules, but the consistency and the safety of those rules has made it great to play, and I feel makes players feel happier about coming on the field and not worrying about injury.
And a welcome back to the Gold Coast Croatian Centre. Players just reappearing for the second half. Oh, to have been a fly in the wall of the Sunshine Coast Wanderers dressing room after a first half in which they've conceded an awful lot of chances. And unfortunately for Paul Arneson's team, 3 goals, which means the Gold Coast Knights are very much in the box seat for that place in the FFA Cup round of 32 for the second time in their history. Reached that mark in the tournament back in 2018, and they've been good value for it. Mitch Nichols has prompted and probed in midfield. Jason McQuarrie has been an ever-present threat down the left-hand side, and the goals have appeared. 2 of them for Curtis Stollery, and 1 in between for Kai Tipaldo after he deflected Nick Panetta's shot past Ben Campbell, the unfortunate young goalkeeper who spilled the ball in first half stoppage time to allow Stollery to net his second of the game. So a long way back for these players from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Scorelines from elsewhere today in the NPL women's competition. Western Pride leading Brisbane City by 2-1. Logan Lightning 3-0 up over the Gap, and Kapalaba 5-1 over the Sunshine Coast Wanderers women's team. So not a particularly happy day for the team from the Sunshine Coast, at least not yet. Still time to turn it around. And incidentally, if you're interested in the A-League, Melbourne City are through to face Sydney FC in next week's grand final, a rematch of last year's showpiece occasion. Goals from Stefan Kolakowski and Marco Tilio, seeing City through to their second consecutive decider. Now we've got a couple of changes coming on for the Gold Coast. Max Brown going to be replaced by Marek Madel, and left-back Matt Schmidt is also coming off. Austin Ludwig to be his replacement. Marek Madel, of course, from the Czech Republic, attacking player, formerly with the Peninsula Power and the Lions. Prolific goal scorer in the local competitions. And Austin Ludwig, 24-year-old, who was playing in the American college system up until recently. So those are the changes ahead of the second half, not so far as we're aware, for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. And they start to make some inroads into this big lead that Gold Coast Knights have built up in the first 45. Little tug on the jersey there of Curtis Stollery as they were going through. Chance here for Jason McQuarrie, but he's fired his effort well wide. Really a continuation of what we saw in those opening 45 minutes, that the Gold Coast able to create chances at will. At the moment, you'd say it's probably a question of just how many. Here's Andrei Janchevsky. Mitch Bridge just moving out of the way so he can make progress, and then a foul. Chance for the Wanderers to throw some numbers forward. Punched up towards the tall figure of Ethan Galbraith, 6 feet 5 inches tall. But, the Knights have kept him reasonably well shackled so far. It's come off Junior Yabe, I think. No, must have taken a touch instead off Brody Boyce, so it's a goal kick. In fact, not Brody Boyce, Riley Campbell, who's playing in that attacking role down that right-hand side. Taken by Josh Langdon, who spent a year with Perth Glory, training with the likes of Liam Reddy and Tando Valapi in the professional ranks. Riley Campbell. Braith, Campbell again. Off Yabe for a throw. Squared up by Fitzsimmons. Boyce available. Looking to float one towards Galbraith, who headed it back away from goal. Slight shout of handball as Janchevski played it into a Gold Coast Knights player. Chris Janchevski again. There's his brother Andre. Bailey Wen. Janchevski's ball into the box, steered away quite comfortably in the end by Roman Hoffman. It's a good burst out of midfield from Nick Panetta. Stopped in his tracks though by Andre Janchevski. Now with Jaden Walker. Comfortable for Fitzsimmons. Andre's looking to start this second half on the front foot. Braith getting involved. And all too often that has been the end result for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. No final product. However, just their second entry into the FFA Cup qualifiers for this young club from the Sunshine Coast. They've got a lot to do in this second half. Here's Marek Mardley. Panetta. Mardley. Straight into the gloves of Campbell. Mitch Nichols. Panetta. Turned over by the Knights. They've got numbers here, the Wanderers, slightly behind Galbraith. Has support from Cutler. Passing lane wasn't really open. And Jason McQuarrie will carry it forward for the Gold Coast Knights. Stollery. Walker, touch back for Nichols. Yabe. No real pressure on the ball carrier. McQuarrie. Step over, gets away from his opponent with ease. He tried to do a little bit too much, didn't he, the Colombian? He'd done the hard work. The Gold Coast Knights, who fell just one round short of the round of 32 the last time the FFA Cup was played back in 2019, lost 5-1 at home to the Brisbane Strikers. They're looking pretty good for a spot in the competition proper. Unless the Wanderers can mount some sort of miraculous comeback. Good driving run again by Nick Panetta. Marek Mardley trying to get involved. Turned forward by Chris Janchevski, but only finds his opponent, who has a crack from an awful long way out. spotting Ben Campbell off his line. I think that might have been Mitch Nichols with the cheeky effort from inside his own half. Another stoppage in play. We had a couple of these. Harry Arneson has been in the wars today. And Max Crane just wants to take some advice from his linesman here and get a new ball. We'll restart with a free drop because of the stoppage for the slight injury to Harry Arneson. I think Gold Coast Knights might have made another change. We'll confirm that for you in a moment. Long delay. Finally, we're good to go. Ben Campbell to launch it upfield for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Helped on by Cutler. Helped away by Junior Yarbe. And came to the club from Gold Coast United. Prior to that, the Japanese defender had spells with the Wynnum Wolves and Ipswich Knights. Delivery driver by day. Here come the Wanderers. Can they fashion a chance here? Headed up in the air by Mitch Nichols, who was furthest defender back, and he's letting his teammates know all about it. And I shouldn't be having to do that sort of work. Here's Panetta. Turned back by Tipaldo. Nichols. And Walker. This is Cutler going to have a go here. Why not? They need to get some target, some shots on target to test Josh Langdon. That one was a routine save for the Knights goalkeeper. Down the line by Yarbe. So the Knights look to spring forward, but an offside flag will bring back Marek Mardley. Ten minutes gone in the second half. No further addition to the score sheet here. There's been a goal in the game elsewhere, as you can see, bottom right of screen. Lots of catch-up games being played in the NPL today. By Jaden Walker and cleared upfield by Langdon. Here's McQuas. Turns away from Cutler. It's an important touch that by Brodie Boyce, actually. That might have found its way through. Makwasi. Nichols picking up the scraps in midfield, as he is adept at doing. Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication there between Roman Hoffman and Josh Langdon. Both wanting the other to take control. In the end, the goalkeeper did. Oh, and Tapaldo chopped down rather unceremoniously, and the first yellow card of the game is issued. Liam Fitzsimmons, I think, is the recipient. And just confirmation of that further change for the Gold Coast Knights. Dante Mariner has replaced Curtis Stollery, scorer of 2 of the Knights' 3 goals today. Further goal for Western Pride in that NPL women's game against Brisbane City. They now lead by 3 goals to 1. Referee Crane not quite ready. Nichols with the set piece. Square by Panetta. Yabe. Out for Jason Makwasi. Lovely turn again by Panetta. He's been one of the game's outstanding players. Too quick for his opponent. Here he goes again from the subsequent set piece, looking for the little give and go with Jason Makwasi. This is Austin Ludwig. The 3 second-half changes now for the Knights. Panetta. Walker looking to steer it in behind for the run of Dante Mariner, who did start last week in that 4-2 win over the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. More goals elsewhere. 3-2 now in that NPL women's game between Western Pride and Brisbane City. The other game, Slogan Lightning 3-0 over the Gap, and Kapalaba 5-1 over the Sunshine Coast Wanderers in that NPL women's competition. Driving run by Andrei Janchevsky sends Daniel Cutler perhaps a bit wider than he wanted, and he does fire it in towards Galbraith, who helps it on, but unfortunately for the Wanderers, over the top of the crossbar. And at the very least, Paul Arneson's team are starting to create some chances. Half chances they may be, but chances nonetheless. They now have under half an hour to try and turn this FFA Cup 7th round qualifier around. Arneson turning back, Fitzsimmons. Foul on Chris Janchevsky by Dante Mariner. Mariner, another one, had stints with the Brisbane Roar youth team and Western Sydney Wanderers as well. He's a Samoan under-17 international. And he's actually Tim Cale's nephew, would you believe? The Wanderers get on the board here. Not with crosses like that, they won't. here by the Gold Coast Knights. Mardley initially. Galbraith down the line. The cutback looks promising for the Wanderers. Score update on a couple of the Premier League games. Sunshine Coast Fire leading the Western Pride by a goal to nil. Wynnum Wolves goalless at the moment with the Holland Park Hawks. Football on around the state. Here it's been heavy going for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, and again they failed to make much progress, and you can tell that they know that time is starting to run short for them with that 3-goal deficit. Ethan Galbraith eager to hurry Josh Langdon along. This is Makwasi. That's a useful looking ball. Daniel Cutler could be in here, turns nicely and fires it across the face of goal. And that's probably the best opportunity that the Wanderers have fashioned in this second half. Perhaps you could say all game. Neat bit of skill from Daniel Cutler, South African-born striker. It was a pretty acute angle to try and beat Josh Langdon. Knights now fallen on the Gold Coast after a lovely sunny day. Wynnum Wolves have taken the league over Holland Park Hawks in that NPL Queensland Premier League game. In the meantime, we've got a set to Haiti Paldo involved, with Chris Janczewski and one or two others. It's always likely to get a little bit heated in the second half, given what's at stake. Does Max Crane take further action? He's taking a bit of counsel from his assistant. Yep, there's going to be cards issued here. Nick Panetta gets one of them. And the other two, Andrei Janczewski, whose brother came to his aid in terms of the verbal battle. So punishments dished out. We're going to restart with a drop ball here. Nichols going down that right-hand side. Giving one or two of the Wanderers supporters saying to Max Crane, well, why did they get the free drop? And it's a set two between two players, one from either side. Almost at the midway point of the second half. Knight still comfortable. Dante Mariner couldn't collect the ball. He will now, though. Brody Boyce, calmly done. On the turn is Galbraith. Andrei Janczewski needs a little bit better service than that. That's been the story for the Wanderers. Nichols penalised for a push. The Wanderers just trying to up the tempo. You can sense that. Krzyzewski trying to ghost into the box, and he does so and fires over the top. Another chance created by Paul Arneson's team. The latest of them taken by their captain. The Knights quite content to sit in and defend that lead. This is Krzyzewski, Wanderers player down behind play. Ethan Galbraith, I think. The Knights don't care about that. McQuarrie will ferry it out towards Mark Madley on the left. As Brodie Boyce in attendance. Madley retaining possession, Yarbe. It's the cosmopolitan nature of the NPL Queensland right there. Player from the Czech Republic, turning it back to the Japanese defender, who then linked up with the Colombian attacker in McQuarrie. Madlow, McQuarrie, Nichols. Chested down by Ludwig, and it's out of Andrei Janchevsky. Sunshine Coast Wanderers got to this stage, defeated Kingscliff 7-2 in round 4. The Brisbane Strikers 3-1 round 5, and Surfers Paradise Apollo 3-1 in round 6. But they've conceded another set piece here, and a lot of frustration starting to grow amongst the ranks of the visitors and their supporters. They have been better in this second half, created 3 or 4 half chances. Nothing really to test Josh Langdon as yet. More defending to do here. Short free kick taken by Nichols for Nick Panetta. He's trying to jockey for position and finds the angle for the cross. Rebound will favour Nichols. Panetta again. Out off Fitzsimmons for a corner. And into the final 20 minutes at the Gold Coast Croatian Centre. Knights in no particular hurry to get the ball into the penalty area. Theirs is not the greater urgency, of course. This is Roman Hoffman, their captain. Nichols. They're just playing the little triangles, beautiful. Before Brodie Boyce says enough of that. And gets the whistle, much to the delight of those Wanderers supporters. They don't feel they've been given too much by Max Crane. Into the channel for Galbraith. Tracking him is Hoffman. We'll get another opportunity here. Krzyzewski, and then slung into the box. Oh, that is a wonderful save by Josh Langdon. Absolutely top quality to deny Harry Arneson. Well, that's the best chance they've created, without question. Western Pride have added another goal. 4-2 they lead Brisbane City in that NPL women's game. The cross comes back in on the resulting corner. Josh Langdon hasn't had a lot to do, but that was outstanding work by the Knights goalkeeper. Might have just given the Wanderers a bit of a glimmer. Just under 20 minutes to go, but it wasn't to be. Here's Marak Madley. Just wouldn't stick for Makwasi. Another substitution coming. We'll confirm that change for you in a moment. In fact, there he is. It's Jacob Fullock, who has been thrown on an attacking change by Paul Arneson, his first of the game. Completely understandable given the state of the contest. A chance on the turn for Fullock, and in fact it's another really good stop by Josh Langdon. That's two top draw saves. In fact, it is a double change for the Wanderers because Josh Forshee is on the right hand side wearing number 5 as well. So Paul Arneson has rung the changes in the hope of trying to turn things around here late on. Oh, that's lovely from Dante Mariner. Rather unceremoniously upended by Chris Janczewski. Jacob Fullock, who did score the Wanderers' first goal against the Knights in that 4-2 loss in the NPL Queensland last week. They've got a long way to go, though, to get back into this game. Can they start the journey? Very solid challenge that by Bailey Wearn on Dante Mariner, who's remained prone on the turf. Back up rather gingerly. And again, the Knights in no particular hurry to take the corner. Rather gentle amble from Mitch Nichols towards the corner arc. And they seal the deal from this set piece. Whipped in towards the near post by Nichols, not to any great effect. Clearance by Brodie Boyce. This is Junior Yabe. Floated beautifully back towards Nichols. And the loose ball should favour the goalkeeper. And Dan Campbell saying, where's the whistle? He'll get a goal kick. Last quarter of an hour on the Gold Coast. The Knights still leading. Those 3 first half goals, 2 for Curtis Stollery, who's since been replaced by Dante Mariner, and 1 for Kai Tapaldo. Now the chase is on. Roman Hoffman never flustered. Jaden Walker sends it long. That's good work by Tapaldo to get clear of his marker. Oh, and a pretty blatant trip. And a free kick for the Knights. Mitch Nichols has wandered away. He'll let his captain take over, Roman Hoffman, who's a lawyer by trade. He's at the Newcastle Jets as a youngster, now skipper of the Knights. Takes it short for Panetta, who pirouettes away from his mark and then promptly gives the ball away. Now the chase is on. Daniel Cutler on the charge, looking to link up with Fullock. Jaden Walker was in the way. It's a clever touch around the corner. Here come the Knights again. McQuarrie threading the needle, chance for 4, it is 4. It's Mark Mardley, the cherry on top for the Gold Coast Knights. They are going through to the round of 32 in the FFA Cup, and it's the substitute who has sealed the deal. Beautifully constructed by the Knights. McQuarrie was fully aware of where his teammate was running. And Marek Mardley wasn't going to miss from there. A man from the Czech Republic who's won the Brisbane Silver Boot twice. And who, of course, won the NPL Premiership with Peninsula Power last year. Kept a cool head when one-on-one with the goalkeeper and promptly made it 4. So 8 goals in a week against the Wanderers for the Gold Coast Knights. They've hit 4 without reply tonight. And in truth, they've been in cruise control pretty much the entire game. Ever since, really, Curtis Stollery put them ahead with that cracking drive after 10 minutes. And the Sunshine Coast Wanderers' dream of winning through to the final rounds of the Cup for the first time in their short history look to be withering on the vine. Here's Chris Janczewski. Can they at least get on the scoreboard? It's looped up over the top. Fullock was going for it. Final touch off Roman Hoffman. Josh Forsheep, the substitute, trying to make an angle at the back post. The ball didn't arrive. Here's Mitch Bridge. Boyce. Forsheep. Yeah, he's given the ball away rather casually, mind you. So is Dante Mariner. The Knights have just been on the day, on a different level to Paul Arneson's team. This is Mariner, Tipaldo, now playing a slightly deeper role following the spate of substitutions. McQuarrie. Trying to get away from Forsheep. Not quite from Nick Panetta, who's had an absolutely outstanding game in midfield. We've got another change coming here. Another double change, in fact. Andrei Janczewski and Mitch Bridge taking their leave. The goal for Western Pride. They now lead Sunshine Coast Fire by 2-1 in that NPL Men's Queensland Premier League game. And it's all rather academic. Gold Coast Knights will be in the hat for the round of 32 draw in the FFA Cup. And that is decided in early July. Offside flag. Defensive header by Junior Yabe. Oh, that's a blatant foul on Tipaldo. Another yellow card issued. And referee Crane is going to have a word with one of the Sunshine Coast Wanderers on the bench and issue a card there. Clearly something said. A day of utter frustration for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Here's Nick Panetta. Yabe. Panetta again. Nichols. Yabe again. Josh Forshy bundled over. Kai Tipaldo's going to have a crack here. Why not? Cutler. Almost got away from him. Took control ahead of Forshy. Josh Forshy, who's a painter by trade, studying to be a teacher though. He is challenging for the ball along with Panetta and winning out. Cutler. Still a bit too tight in there. Classy trying to release his teammate. Instead it breaks for Salisbury, who's fresh off the bench, and Jacob Fullock, another one of the changes, fires well wide of the target. Gold Coast Knights got a big game coming up against the Lions next Saturday. In fact, a couple of home games to come. Brisbane Strikers, who are really struggling this season at the bottom end of the table, are next at the Gold Coast Croatian Centre after the Lions. As for the Wanderers, they make the trip to Kapalaba next Sunday before home game against Brisbane Raw Youth. That's back in the league competition, of course. So the Wanderers' interest in the Cup is about to be expunged. The Wanderers felt that was a handball against Mitch Nichols, but nothing doing. Here's Cutler, who's looked lively, at least tried to create some chances. Dante Mariner trying to bundle his way through. Just held off by Brock Ross. Oh, now that's a bad challenge, and Dante Mariner's going to go into the book. Was mistimed, to say the least. And the Wanderers would like Max Crane to go and ask the opinion of his assistant. He's issued the yellow card already to Dante Mariner. Harry Arneson, the victim. Wonder if that's going to be upgraded. The yellow card is going to suffice for the Gold Coast Knights substitute. Just a couple of minutes to go. Dante Mariner's got to watch his back now. And again he goes diving in. He's got to be careful here, Dante Mariner. The free kick has gone the other way. I have to admit, I thought Dante Mariner was a bit fortunate there. Seemed to throw his body into the path of his opponents, Bailey Salisbury. Referee sees it the other way. Free kick tap short between Nichols and Panetta. No hurry for the Knights. Madley for Yarbe, and they've worked that nicely towards Nichols in the corner. Brock Ross standing his ground. Big inside the final minutes. It's all about the Sunshine Coast Wanderers can get some sort of consolation, really. Here's Nick Panetta, man of the match for me. It's a good challenge there by Boyce. Launches it forward for Cutler. He's got a runner on the left-hand side, which he chooses to ignore. And centrally for Chris Janczewski, and it wasn't really the option. It's an important intervention. Ross turns away from Nichols, all a bit tight in there. Wanderers get the decision. So we tick over into stoppage time. Wanderers trying to creep the ball forward. Max Crane says, yep, that's far enough. This may well be their last chance to try and get on the board. Needs a good delivery from Liam Fitzsimmons. Lifts it up towards Forshey at that back post. And he might have done a bit better with that. He was unmarked. Langdon to restart play. Has made a couple of very good saves in the second half to maintain his clean sheet, which of course is very important for a goalkeeper. There's a foul on Chris Janczewski. The referee just gave himself a moment to see if any advantage would accrue. The foul by Kai Tapaldo. He's been playing in a much more withdrawn role in this second period. Final touch off Jaden Walker. It's going to be a throw for the Wanderers. And now in the third additional minute, Cutler Thought about the shot. Still might. Dug out by Bailey Salisbury. But again, it was all just a little bit too narrow for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Story of a frustrating afternoon for them on the Gold Coast. Well dug out by Mariner. That's clever from Mardley. There's Mariner alongside him, tried to feed him. Broken up by the Wanderers, Christian Chevsky making progress. Only until Mitch Nichols stepped in. Back by Hoffman for Walker. And Gold Coast Knights ending this game as they started, pretty much in full control. And Matt Sprain says that will do. It was eagerly contested, a little bit of niggle at times, but in the end, the Gold Coast Knights comfortable winners. 3 goals in the first half, 2 for Curtis Stollery, 1 for Kai Tapeldo, and then substitute Marek Mardley, putting the cherry on top in the second half. The Wanderers huffed and puffed, but they just couldn't blow the Gold Coast Knights' house down. So it is the Knights who go through to the FFA Cup round of 32, the draw in a few weeks' time. Congratulations to them. Hope you enjoyed our coverage tonight. That's the final scoreline, 4-0 for the Knights. From me, Simon Hill. A very good evening to you.
you.